other systems automatically. Now, of course, any company of any scale needs more systems than this to survive. And so there's a whole bunch more, some of which we're building now that I can't quite talk about, others which will come in the future that we're going to need to build. But also we're not going to build everything, right? And so there is this like large ecosystem of other things out there that we need to have a clean API to that can kind of come back and talk with that same employee system of record in a much, much cleaner way than people do today. So this is essentially what we are trying to build at Rippling. Now, why did I entitle this presentation like cutting against the grain? Well, the conventional wisdom when starting a company is pursue a really narrowly defined objective, like crush it, find a fanatical set of customers. The insight that Parker had was like, you can't actually do that in this case, because in order to create a single system of record, and in order to make that truly valuable and to work as well as it can, you need to build all of these systems on a first-party basis. And so that's what we've been doing, and that's what we continue to do. And it's fundamentally why I got interested in the company, because it means that we have a whole bunch of really interesting challenges to solve in a really entrepreneurial way. And you think about Rippling today, which has less than 100 engineers still, and we're building all these products. Each one is really small, really entrepreneurial, and has to compete against these entrenched players. Like in payroll, ADP is a $40 billion company. Paylocity is a multi-billion-dollar company. And so each of these teams competes against like these very large and entrenched incumbents, which I think is a rather fun game to play. So what does this mean overall for engineering? Well, it means that. It means we're scaling to support hundreds of millions of employees. This is going to be a global thing. We're not only supporting tech companies, we're supporting all companies. So restaurants, hair salons, chains of various kinds. And so it's really fun to be able to interact with kind of all these different kinds of customers. One of our key advantages is that we're building out a core technology platform that can be leveraged across each of these applications we're building. So when I was talking about things like a permissioning system, that permissioning system can be built once and then re-leveraged across every single one of these things, so you don't have to re-implement it many times. And there's a bunch of interesting stuff happening here that we're releasing over the next 3 to 6 to 9 months. We're going to have an extensive developer community. One of the things we're really excited about is next year, maybe the following, we'll start having our own sort of equivalent of Dreamforce, right? And so we're really excited about building that out. And then last and not least, of course, we have a couple of dozen other products we need to build. And so we're trying to get really, really good at repeatedly building and launching new products where we just know that there's already going to be a fit for those products in the market we serve. And we're hoping to kind of leverage the success of our current products to make those successful as well. So there's a lot going on, and I didn't want to pick just one thing, but I am very happy to kind of, in either the lounge or at some later time, chat with anyone who would like about what we're doing and why it might be interesting. So thank you very much for the time, and have a great rest of the day.
Thanks so much, Jeremy. And next up, we have Tom and Omri to share more about what's going on at Routable. You guys want to take it away?
Hey everyone, good to meet you. We are Tom and Omri from Routable, and we are going to be talking about building a integration forward company. And basically what that means is we build a lot of fun integrations that are challenging and make our life harder, but our customers' lives easier. So the first thing I'm going to go over is, what is Routable? We are the simplest way to send and receive business payments. If you think about it at a very high level, today, it's really easy to send payments to consumers. Think about Venmo, it's like sending a tweet. But unfortunately, a business payment is like trying to move a bill through Congress. It is complicated, it is convoluted. One of the biggest things that we work on is helping your teams, finance, operations, and engineering, work together to send business payments that make your vendors and customers happy, but also update all the finance data that's associated. In turn, we help customers go from 1,000 business payments a month to 1 million business payments a month really easily, where before they would be making a hodgepodge of internal tools that suck. So where do the integrations fit in? At the end of the day, everything that we do at Routable is about integrations. And the reason we wanted to do this presentation is to really explain what does an integration business look like. I think a lot of you are probably familiar with Segment, Intercom, other tools like that, Salesforce, that are heavily dependent on integration. And when we went to build this business, we knew in advance that we would be building on top of integrations. If you can see here, Routable sits in between business tools, accounting tools, and payments tools, and it is our responsibility to be the best steward of information between all these different channels. And that's what our customers rely on us for. This is important because at the end of the day, our customers need to know our business to be the source of truth for their biggest pain point, which is moving customer data. And the biggest thing that we found out over time is you can't have a crappy integration. You can't have a part sync. Setting data between two systems is really important, and it has become a big part of everything that we do, from design, product, engineering, and customer success. And this is really important in industries that are around high volume payments. So if you think about food delivery, insurance payments, even sending payments to artists on Spotify and stuff like that, it is critical when you're sending data between an ERP, a business tool, and your own platform for that data to be always in sync. This also makes our customers happy because they know they can build on top of our platform. At the end of the day, the best integrations win customers. Our business is about building the best engineering company in a very clunky B2B space. And the way we have started to win and really differentiate ourselves from our competitors is by putting a lot of focus attention building the best integrations to make sure that people can build on top of our platform and not just use it with manual data entry. One of the things that I want to share with you guys is that Tom and I, when we were building this platform a long time ago, found our secret sauce. And that was that we realized that a B2B payment is the same thing as a pull request. We realized that instead of changing a code base, you're changing a bank account and an accounting software. You're making modifications to those two places. There is a review cycle when someone can say, yes, I want to make this change. No, you made a mistake. We're moving money to the wrong bank account. Then there is a CI process when we check bank accounts, we check validity of payment methods, we ask the bank if the transfer can go through. And then there is the merge process where we actually try to move the money and then update the accounting software after the fact. Once we learned this was our aha moment, that's what we told everyone to join a company. And we said, hey, Routable is about building B2B payments, but a B2B payment is essentially a pull request, but for money. And this has been our core truth for making really good integrations and really good business payments. And that's one of the big things that they do for us. They help us hire. Integrations are intricate and they attract a certain type of person. They're not simple. They have a lot of gotchas. And at the end of the day, at our companies, we celebrate the challenges that come with integrations. And we have put together a group of people that are really oriented towards integrations and towards figuring out how to send data between platforms the right way at the right time. And then one of the biggest things too is when we interview people at Routable, which is what this event is for, we really talk about integrations and ask people how they think about them and ask them what interests, why are integrations interesting to them. It is everything that we think about, and it is what makes us tick, and what makes our company excellent. With that, though, that is a high level of our presentation. We are going to be at 4 different rooms and really excited to talk to you all. So if you have any questions about building integrations, current integrations at your current work, or just how Routable works, just give us a shout and join one of our booths. Thank you.
Omri, and last up of the major tech talks is we have Brett and Matt from OneSignal. You guys want to take it away?
Hello, everyone. My name is Matt Tiller. I'm the VP of Engineering here at OneSignal, and I'm joined with my colleague Brett to talk to you about how we use Rust to scale our infrastructure efficiently. So to start us off, I'd like to give us a brief overview of the company. So OneSignal was founded in 2011 through Y Combinator, and we are the market leader in customer engagement, powering mobile and web push, email, and in-app messaging. We're used by over 1 million developers worldwide and send a whopping 7 billion push notifications each day. We have about 60 employees located in our 2 offices, San Mateo and New York. And I'd like to give you a little bit of an overview of our messaging capabilities. So we're most likely well known for our push platform, Mobile Push, where we provide a very SDK-centric approach. We provide iOS and Android native SDKs, as well as SDKs for higher level technologies like Flutter and React Native. We also provide web push functionality, and we're actually present on 4% of the top 10K websites in the world. And then if you go even deeper in our messaging capabilities, we also offer in-app messaging, so allowing marketers to send screens down and workflows without having to roll app updates. We're continuing to add more and more messaging capabilities, including email and SMS. So to frame up the technology challenges that we'll be discussing today, a bit of a timeline. We were actually founded in 2011 as a gaming company and released a number of games, including my personal favorite, Fat Squirrel. As we worked on these games, what we learned was that there was a need for a developer-centric push platform. And so we actually built one ourselves and eventually pivoted the company and changed the name of the company to OneSignal. So we raised our Series A in 2017 and our Series B in 2019. And today we continue to grow our team and expand our business. And so that actually brings me to some of our technology challenges, for which I will hand it over to Brett to talk to you about how we use Rust to solve some of these interesting problems.
Hello, everybody. I'm Brett Thomas. I'm the engineering director for the backend team at OneSignal. So we're the people who actually get to send all of those notifications that Matt was talking about. Our problem was, of course, a good one to have, which was that in early 2016, we were growing incredibly quickly. It became clear that our current solution for delivering messages, which was a code base written in Ruby, wasn't going to be sufficient to the task. There were 2 big constraints we had from this technology choice. First, and most obviously, is a dynamic language. There's runtime overhead associated with a lack of pre-compilation. Secondly, because of its dynamic nature, at its heart is a single global interpreter. And like a lot of dynamic languages from its time period, Ruby has a global lock on it, meaning only one thread can be executing the global interpreter at a time. On Ruby applications like ours, effectively single-threaded. At this time, we were peaking at 1,000 notifications per second on a single core. This gave us a throughput of about 1,000 notifications per core per second, and only about 250 seconds on average. The obvious solution was simply to buy more cores, but we knew that if our business grew the way we wanted, we couldn't afford to pay for and run that many hosts, so we needed to come up with another solution. We had a number of goals in mind for this project. We wanted a compiled language for extra speed. We wanted it to be memory safe, so we didn't have to spend a lot of time worrying about memory management. But at the same time, we also didn't want it to be garbage collected because of the high performance under high load we needed. We wanted strong typing to avoid typing-related runtime errors, and strong threading support so we didn't have a lot of per-process overhead. We wanted it to run fast, but we also needed it to be fast to implement because we were quickly running out of runway on the existing systems. Our solution? PHP. No, actually it was Rust. That cute guy there is Ferris, the Rust mascot. We felt Rust had a number of unique advantages for exactly what we wanted to do. As a compiled language, it allowed building very well-optimized binaries for our target environments. It's truly multi-threaded. And as we learned from later experience, it has some attributes that we feel really help us develop quickly and safely. Or, as our CTO Joe Whelm put it, move fast and don't break things. Language attributes let us be confident we're avoiding data race conditions. The error handling model makes it more difficult to sweep exceptions under the rug and requires developers to think about corner cases in advance before they cause problems, which is something that can happen in competing languages. It has built-in memory safety, as any recent language will, but without garbage collection, which can cause problems when it suddenly happens on a loaded system. And obviously, and famously, Rust strong typing lets us avoid whole classes of errors to begin with. The biggest obvious concern with picking up Rust in early 2016 was that it was, at the time, a very young language. While it first appeared in mid-2010, it was only beginning to make real inroads in 2016. The first Rust conference was that year, for example. While there are some obvious risks of new language, no one wants to be the first penguin off the ice floe, there are perhaps some potential downsides that might be less apparent. Modern software development is often about leveraging the work of a generous community, or gluing stuff together you don't understand, in XKCD's phrasing. When you pick a really young language for your system development, you may end up spending a lot of time writing fundamental libraries rather than actually working on the parts of your application that are driving your business. So that's a big risk you have to look really closely at when evaluating switching a core part of your technology to a young language. As we all know, the best software iterates quickly. That way you learn from your mistakes without having to throw away a whole bunch of work. Well, the best programming languages grow the same way. But that means the way you do something this year may not be the way that you do it next year, and the foundation you've built your code on can shift suddenly. If you're going to adopt a new language, you have to be committed to being an active watcher of its change and growth, and recognize you may need to occasionally refactor your own code to keep up with these changes. For example, when we first implemented asynchronous processing, we used thread pools and channels. Over the next few years, we moved to the Future 0.1 ecosystem and wrote manual state machines to implement Future, and we used huge chains of and-thens to write more procedural-like chains of Future execution. Among other things, this resulted in a lot of copy and pasted code, which is never a good software development practice. While it was usable, it was a management and development headache. Thankfully, in November 2019, the async await feature stabilized in Rust 1.39, which lets asynchronous futures be written in a very similar fashion to synchronous code. As you can see, this allowed us to greatly simplify the code needed for common patterns in our system. However, it did mean that some work in going through and cleaning up the older code, so that's a trade-off you have to keep in mind for being on the bleeding edge. While the changes in Rust over time gave us some growing pains, there are some real improvements we've seen over the years. From the beginning, it let us build robust, performant systems without a lot of cognitive overhead worrying about safety. But as it's grown and matured, we've seen the number of things get even better. Rust Analyzer goes even beyond the tooltips, definitions, error warning lit, highlighting they're now a minimum standard in IDE, but also includes great refactoring support. Compiler speed has improved. It's not yet caught up to Go, and at the end of the day, the performance of the executable is more important than the compile time, but it's a nice quality of life item for developers to allow for rapid turnaround of testing changes. We're now using a stable version of the compiler. That's right, when we began using Rust, we needed a feature, custom derive, that was feature gated to nightly. It was very nice to be able to move to a stable version of the compiler. As we mentioned, one of the challenges of a new language is a lack of library support. A big one for us over the past few years has been the improvements in the Redis RS packet, which added future support, and Tokyo Postgres, which added support for asynchronous execution of Postgres queries. So how'd it go for us? We've gone from 20 million messages per day in 2016 to over 7.5 billion today. The peak number of messages delivered has gone from 1,000 per second in 2016 to 6 million today, a 6,000 times increase. And we've done that without blowing our hardware budget. We do all of this with just 120 2.2 gigahertz CPU cores, a mix of Intel and AMD, which means that our peak, we are doing 50,000 messages per core per second. If we'd simply bought more cores as a solution to this growth, we'd need more than 5,000. Fundamentally, we feel our choice of Rust has enabled our business to grow quickly without busting our hosting bill. It also enabled us to develop software we're extremely confident in, which is important for us running at this scale. Remember, if our code has a 1 in a million bug in it, we're hitting it nearly 250,000 times a month. After this success, we've been expanding the use of Rust through our backend stack. We use Kafka internally to distribute our workloads, and we quickly started writing our new Kafka consumers in Rust to reduce our hosting costs. And generally, anytime we've had the opportunity, we write new backend software in Rust. We've been particularly delighted with the way Rust makes it easy for us to write high-performance, forgettable software. Forgettable in the sense that once we build it, it runs reliably, we stop thinking about it, and move on to the next task. One concern with a new language like this is hiring experienced developers. But we found that new developers have heard of Rust and are eager to learn it. It's not so different from other languages that it becomes a major blocker on getting new people up and running. Rust isn't necessarily the solution to your problem. Hopefully our story has helped you in understanding our experiences and the challenges and successes in adopting a new language early in its history. Even if Rust isn't your solution, I hope our experiences in evaluating new technology could be more generally useful to you. And of course, if you're interested in working with Rust at scale, we're always looking for more developers to help us out. We have several people waiting to talk to you in the breakout booths after this presentation. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you guys so much. The next step is to go through these 1-minute pitches. And so we'll start with Jerry from Welcome. All right.
Thanks, Ryan. Hey guys, my name is Jerry. I'm from Welcome. I'm one of the co-founders, and Welcome is a virtual events platform that you're using right now. So the founding team, we actually used to run in-person events, big conferences. And so when COVID first started, we were like, there's really not a platform out there that helps us run the type of events that we would want. So being product people and engineers, we built it. And that's what you're seeing here today. So today, Welcome runs the most baller virtual events in the world, from CEO summits to celebrity galas, and of course, Y Combinator. We just raised our Series A, and so we are hiring across all roles. So if you want to push code in the morning and do customer development with celebrities in the afternoon, come to Welcome.
Hi, everybody. Can everyone hear me all right? Excellent. So I'm Steven Grabowski from Gordian Software. We're building an API platform for the airline industry. So our customers are travel websites like Priceline, Ctrip. If you're running one of these companies, you basically need to integrate hundreds of APIs today. So what we're doing is we coordinate all of those 100 APIs into one generic API format. The secret here and how we do it is we've designed a generic kind of integration factory where we can scalably integrate 100 different APIs into our format without needing to in-house all of it. So we can get folks like Priceline to market super fast. So in terms of our customers, we're working with some of the largest brands already. So Kiwi's a good example, Priceline's a good example. We're doing this with 4, 5, 6 of the top 10 travel brands in the world with a team of 7 people. So we're extremely overwhelmed in terms of our customer demand, and that's why I'm here talking with you today. We're hiring back-end engineers who are going to resonate with our values. So our values are freedom, impact, and ownership. So we're looking for people who want to really understand the business context, are excited about owning things end to end, and moving extremely quickly. So if that sounds interesting and you want to learn more, join us in our booth. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. I'm CEO of Sparking. We are a YC Winter 15 company. Most people don't know that in the US, we have 250 million cars, 800 million parking spaces, and consumers like us still struggle to find parking spaces. The supply side of the inventory is not digitized. So what we do at Sparking is we work with those people who ever own or manage parking assets to provide them enterprise software solutions to help them to digitize their parking inventory supply. Today, we work with just north of 2,000 parking sites across North America. And out of them, we work with big landlords such as Brookfield Properties, Tishman Speyer, all multi-billion-dollar landlords, as well as municipalities such as City of New Haven, City of Miami, City of Houston, City of Santa Monica. Our technology is 100% cloud-based, and by now we've built out pretty much the largest data cloud for the parking industry in North America. We also pushed out our first dynamic pricing engine, seeing more than 100% of revenue increases for our clients. We have multiple openings on our engineering team, primarily focused on backend and data science. Check out smarking.com/careers.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maria. I'm the founder and CEO of Sinai Technologies. And Sinai is a decarbonization SaaS platform that helps big corporations to put a price on their carbon emissions, manage carbon taxes, and ultimately help them to reduce emissions in the most cost-effective way. We have customers such as ArcelorMittal, the biggest steel producer in the world, Brookfield, and most recently, we just closed with Siemens, the big manufacturing German company. For one customer only, we are helping them to save over $3 billion per year while reducing 13% of their carbon emissions. This is one study case that we recently closed. I've been working in sustainability for almost 15 years now. And Alain, my co-founder, was Uber engineer number 12. We are a team of 10 people right now, and we are looking to hire one designer and one backend engineer. So come talk to us in our booths. Thank you so much.
Hey, I'm Avery from Drip. We're an all-in-one tool to run your restaurant. We're super early, just my co-founder and I, but our product is already shipped and used nationwide. Now is a really fun time at Drip. We just closed our first round and we're trying to build out a rocket star team. Every hire right now has a huge opportunity to impact everything we do and ship to potentially hundreds of thousands of restaurants in the United States. Because of this, we're actively looking for engineers that want strong product ownership. Everyone in our company talks with our customers almost every day. We build our product specifically around communicating with our partners. We're strong believers in finding your own work. We don't believe in PMs and 100-item backlogs, but what we do believe in is that you should be able to be in charge of what you work on. Want a feature to exist? Talk to a restaurant, see if they want it, hack together a prototype, and ship it the next day. To give you some context, you'll be joining a team of several-time founders and our most recent hire, an ex-Googler. We need the last piece of our puzzle before we take off, and that piece could be you. If you're interested, email me at avery@drip.is or come to our hangout session after. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Manmeet, the co-founder of Turing Labs, and we help companies like Unilever and Pepsi develop better products. You'll be surprised that the products like shampoo and detergents takes millions of dollars and years to get developed properly. Turing does this in a matter of weeks using data and top-notch machine learning and AI algorithms. Few of the world's largest brands and fourth largest retailer on the planet is using Turing to develop products that you and I consume every single day. But our current version is really breaking, guys. We are building an enterprise-grade software, and we need to, have the warriors, courageous engineers who can build the software and compete with legacy players like IBM, Microsoft, and SAP. We are very well funded, and we have great customers, we have great demand, but we just need to now build a great product as well. We have amazing product market fit. Thank you so much.
Hey everyone, my name is Ryan and I'm the co-founder of Arist. Arist is the world's first text message learning platform. So we work with Fortune 500 companies and organizations like DuPont, GE in the state of California to create, deploy, and assess text message courses. 95% of people read a text message within just 3 minutes of getting it. So as a result, we help create and deliver training content to employees in a way they engage with, they actually read, and they really love. Our long-term vision is to deliver critical knowledge and training to anyone in the world, regardless of traditional learning barriers, one text or WhatsApp message at a time. Backed by research from Stanford and Harvard, text message courses see about 10 times the completion rates and satisfaction rates of other learning mediums, and we've learned a lot about how to best teach someone in so little content. We just finished YC's S20 batch and closed our seed round, and we're now looking for full stack developers with experience in Node.js and experience in enterprise as well, and really just a love of learning to join our really fast growing team. Arist is an awesome and fun place to work. Check out our post on Work at a Startup. I'll be in the lounge after, or reach out to me at ryan@arist.co. Thanks so much.
Hey everybody, I'm Danny. I'm on the recruiting team with Routable. Routable was a winner session 2017 Y Combinator company. And for those of you who don't know, Routable is a very fast way of developing internal tools. So Routable allows you to drag and drop components like tables, drop-downs, text inputs, things like that, so that you can develop and assemble your internal tools or apps very quickly. You can also write code, custom code on top of Routable, either manipulate the data in some way or to get your tool to look and feel like the rest of the way that you want it to. We're working with companies like DoorDash, Brex, and Coinbase, helping them spend less time developing tools from scratch and more time operating much more efficiently. We had a fairly large Series A led by Sequoia. We're now investing that back in the business. That's why we, myself, Ariel, and Amanda are here. That's why we're excited to chat with you all. We're around 40 employees right now, like 14-ish on the engineering side of things. And a major emphasis right now is on engineering hiring. So I'm excited to chat with you all, but we also have opportunities in other parts of the organization like operations support, marketing, sales, things like that. So stop on by a booth. excited to meet you.
All right, those were all the talks and the pitches. Thank you guys so much for making time. Make sure that you go to the lounge. Everybody is now waiting over there to chat with you, to have one-on-ones, to meet, so you can learn more about the technologies in the business. I want to do a quick shout out to Tiger, who's been behind the stages. He actually works at Welcome. He's done a fantastic job to make this happen. You get to see his new haircut, and he looks great. Thank you guys. Welcome has been such a great tool and great partner in taking this. And then when we do more of them, hopefully we can make this a great experience. So that said, go on over to the lounge. You don't want to hear from me. If you have questions, I'll be lingering about. We don't close the doors until everyone leaves because we want to make sure that you can talk with everyone that you want to. Go for it. Thanks so much.
Sweet. What do you want to throw up as a background?
I was going to throw up where is it? The like? No, there was another one about how to go into the rooms, but it disappeared.
Oh, no. I saw that slide in your slide share.
It was somewhere. I'll find it. I have it. Lounge. Here we go. Yeah, it's not showing up. It didn't upload. Oh, there it is. Boom.
Okay, cool.
Thank you so much. I hope that went pretty smooth. That was.
Let me tell you, that was in, I think, pretty top percentile virtual events.
Really?
You've been to a lot of them too. So, but I think the only thing I can think of is the screen share that was pixelated. But I mean, small stuff. I'm getting pings from everywhere. Just product design things that we'll be iterating on. And I think the audio for folks. I don't know if you noticed it. We're working on that as well. What we typically do, if you, I should probably get over to my lounge room, but whatever you prefer, if you prefer to kind of just write up pages and pages of feedback.
Let me get to the lounge room. Get to the lounge room. That's more important.
Cool, awesome. This is fun, Ryan. Thanks for putting this on. It's a great event. You did all the work, like setting up all the speakers and lining all that up. This part.
Go talk to people.
Right.
Go talk to people.
See you later, man.
See you.